and today I'm going to talk about how to solve the Rubik's Cube. Before we get into solving the Rubik's Cube, you're first going to have to learn about basic notation. So notation is basically how you turn the cube inside of algorithms. Algorithms are memorized sets of moves that allow you to move around certain pieces. The first one I want to talk to you about is R. R is this side over here, and you move it like this. So if you see an R inside of an algorithm, you know to turn this one like this. If you see a left in an algorithm, or L, you know to turn this left side, this one right here, like this, downwards. Now this is an important thing to note. This one moves up, right moves up, left moves down. U, or up, will move like this. D will move like this. And B, back here, it's the back will move like this. So those are the basic algorithms that you'll need to know. There's actually a couple, or notation that you'll need to know. There's actually a couple more, like F, which is like this. It's like that. Another thing that I want to teach you guys about is how each of these algorithms can have a little apostrophe after them, like in front of them, or after the letter. And that means to do it opposite. So F prime would be like this. Or F with an apostrophe after it would be like this. We also call, instead of an apostrophe, we call it prime. So F prime would be like this. R prime would be like this. And left prime would be like this. B prime would be like this. U prime would be like this. D prime would be like this. Those are just the basic notations that you're going to be doing, but I hope those helped you. Or if you already have it scrambled, the first thing you have to do is create a white cross. Like, okay, so these pieces are edges. These pieces right here, edges. There's 4 edges on each side, and these are corners right here. So the first thing you want to do is get all the edges, all the white edges, onto the top layer, no matter how, or onto the white side. See, as you can see, now we have this white cross right here, which is a bunch of white stuff like this. But as you can see, oh, it's going to be extremely hard to get this next one. So what you can do is you can hold this, the one that you want to correct, in front of you, and do F prime twice, so that it's in the bottom layer next to the yellow. Then you can move it over to the one you want, like this. So this green center and this green and white edge are paired up, and then you can move it up. And that one will get paired up, which is good, and then it'll bring this one down, which you can pair up as so. Take it, pair it back up, and go. And you just repeat that for all of these. So this one, you just pair up like this. You go up. And then finally, this last one, you just pair up like this. Okay, but if you have something like this, where it's just like this, and it's not on the very bottom, you can just bring this over, so it's like next to it-ish, move F prime, insert it using R, and then move this one back with F. And then you have that. The cross. This thing is making the first layer. So since you made this cross and all these pairs right here, now you have to find a white corner, like this one. But every corner has 2 other pieces attached to it. This one has blue and orange. So what you do is you take that blue and orange one, you place it right underneath this blue and orange centers, you move it over, you move left, or right, depending on how you're inserting it, left, D prime, and you move it back up. This is more intuitive, so if you can't figure it out from here, then you might need to go look at a guide. I'll link a good guide down in the description, as well as timestamps. So the same thing with this one. Oh, it has to go right here. If you already have another edge like this completed, it means that you're skipping a step next time. So you just insert it. And this one, you use R prime, D, and move it back up. So the next one you find, okay, this one has these 2 colors on it. So you take it underneath the slot, you move it over, you move it down, you insert, like that. Move this over, down, in, up. That is how you make the first layer. For this next one, you're searching for one of these edges that has two colors on it that either aren't yellow. So this top color, so you first get the one that you found, like this one's green. So you make up a green like strip right here. And then you figure out, okay, what's the top piece of the edge is. And this one is orange, as you can see. So you'd have to move it over so that this one moves over there. So to do this, you simply do this algorithm. So that one's to move it over here. The next one is if you have to move it over here. There's only a very basic change. Here's the algorithm. So if you have another one, you repeat that step, figuring out which way it has to go. And then you insert it. By now, or more, depending on the case you have, you should have a second layer completed. Okay, so the next thing that you want to do is make the top cross and then full face. So you hold it like this. If you have this case, where you have it like this, you hold it like this. And then you do this algorithm. If you have this case, you try to position it like that, and then do this algorithm. Once you have the whole cross completed, as you can see, that's the first step that we're doing, then you orientate it like this, and then you do this algorithm. Or you orientate it so that this corner that isn't solved is like that, and then you do this algorithm. Then you hold, if you get this case, you just hold it so that this corner that is orientated, like inside of the left face, or the left side, and then you do this algorithm. Now, if you've noticed so far, those are all the same algorithms, but you're going to need to just use the same algorithm, basically. There's only like one other algorithm that I taught you that's different. And if you have this one like this, it's no worry, hold it like this, and do this again. Okay, so see, if you do that, you should have this top face completed. There are some other steps, I think, to doing that, but as I said, I'll link a thing that helped me learn this in the description. We have this whole face completed up here, but the thing is we don't have any of these completed. We don't have this last layer completed. So what you do is if you have two corners that are completed, like this, you put them on top of the double layer that you have and put it in the back. Then you do this algorithm. Okay, so once you do that algorithm, you should have something like this. Don't worry, if you have something like this where it's a diagonal corner, pretend as all of this didn't happen, and you had only this corner right here and this corner right here solved, you just do the same thing. And then you just reposition it so that it does work, and then you do the same thing again. Until you get to this point. Now, at this point, there are two ways that this could happen. You could have one whole other face solved, or you could have not the other faces solved. So if you don't have any other faces solved, then what you can just do is do the exact same algorithm as me, either one that you choose. You can do one of these, and then you can do the last one. So inside of this case, we have these three that are unsolved. So this one's solved. So you can move. You have to determine if it has to move like this or like this. Clockwise or counterclockwise. I just do left to right, and it helps me remember. So for this one, I have to move this one left. So what I do to do this one is this algorithm. Wait. Instead, where you have to move this one over here, then you simply just do this. It's only changing one move. That's how you solve the cube. Now, of course, I said that if you don't have a full face completed, then you do either one of those, and then it should make a face completed, and then you can continue. There's a lot of different cases I didn't talk about in this, because this is a quick one that's just like an overview example solve-ish. Not like a full tutorial. Sorry. I'll probably label that in the thing. But I'll down below link a article that really helped me learn it. It's just like by Rubik's brand. I know they're not great, but they make articles that are good, decent. So yeah. Also down below there will be timestamps. Like, subscribe, don't share. I don't expect you to share. And Pi is out.